Prince Andrew. His biographer has revealed the sex-obsessed former Duke begged staff and friends to arrange girls for him.
Behind the walls of Royal Lodge, there's a rule book that most people have never heard about. Even after being stripped of his royal titles, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor continues to enforce bizarre protocols on his staff. Insiders who've worked within those walls have used one word to describe the conditions: revolting. And what they've revealed is more disturbing than anyone imagined. This isn't just about bad manners or royal eccentricity. This is about a pattern of behaviour that's been protected and hidden for decades. Welcome to Royal Family Daily, where we bring you the untold stories from behind palace doors. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest royal revelations. We're diving deep into the secrets that the palace doesn't want you to know. Despite losing his titles in October 2025, Andrew still demands that every staff member address him as Your Royal Highness. Butlers, housekeepers, and household workers are required to bow and curtsy when they enter his presence. He's told those close to him that this is his birthright, something that King Charles cannot simply erase with a decree. Inside Royal Lodge, he's created his own royal bubble, a world where he refuses to acknowledge that anything has changed. Staff members report that he becomes visibly angry when anyone uses his new legal name. He insists that the loss of his titles is temporary, that eventually the public will forget and he'll be restored to his former position. But the strange demands go far beyond titles. Former staff members have come forward with details that sound almost impossible to believe. Andrew keeps 72 stuffed animals arranged on his bed in a precise order. Charlotte Briggs, a former maid, spent an entire day in training just to learn the correct placement of each toy. The process takes half an hour to complete properly, and if even one teddy bear is positioned incorrectly, he loses his temper. Some of the toys are dressed as sailors. There are specific spots for hippos, panthers, and various other creatures. Staff members have described the ritual as childish and unsettling. Briggs revealed that she had to carry a laminated diagram with her to ensure she didn't make mistakes. The teddy bears aren't just a quirk. They represent the level of control he demands over every detail of his household. If you're shocked by what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps more people discover these stories, and trust me, it gets even more unbelievable from here. The absurd demands don't stop with stuffed animals. Staff have been forced to climb 4 flights of stairs just to open his curtains in the morning, even though he's lying in bed right next to the windows. He could easily reach over and open them himself, but he refuses. If someone forgets to bow when entering a room, he'll leave and re-enter, forcing them to try again until they get it right. One aide was reportedly fired because Andrew didn't like that he had a mole on his face. Another was dismissed for wearing a nylon tie instead of silk. A footman was let go for having what Andrew described as an irritating voice. Former employees say he treats workers as subordinates who exist only to be bossed around, with no regard for their dignity or effort. Several staff members have reported that he's never once thanked them for their service, not even after years of employment. The behaviour goes beyond pettiness. In 2005, Andrew called a staff member a fakishawang imbecile during an argument over a reference to the Queen Mother. Multiple sources describe him throwing items on the ground and demanding that protection officers pick them up for him. These aren't just household items. He's reportedly thrown phones, documents, and even food when things don't go his way. One aide was reduced to tears after receiving a pre-dawn phone call where he screamed at them over a minor issue that could have easily waited until morning. More recently, in August 2025, he was heard yelling profanity at road workers who were installing a speed bump near Royal Lodge. Witnesses said his language was so aggressive that the workers considered filing a complaint. People who've worked for him describe the environment as unbelievably cruel, with some saying they've never encountered anyone more difficult in their entire careers. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think. Do you believe someone like this should still be living in a royal residence? Do the royals get away with too much? We want to hear your thoughts. In 2021, the royal family held a private summit specifically to address Andrew's treatment of staff. According to sources, senior royals agreed that there was no way back for him within the monarchy. The meeting reportedly included King Charles, Prince William, and Princess Anne, all of whom had heard complaints from palace workers over the years. Reports suggest that Queen Elizabeth herself turned a blind eye to complaints throughout his life, protecting him despite ongoing concerns about both his behaviour and alleged financial irregularities. Former palace insiders claim that staff members were discouraged from filing formal complaints because it would reflect poorly on the Queen. For decades, palace staff felt powerless to speak out because of his mother's protection. Some workers transferred to other royal households just to escape his supervision. Now, the consequences are finally catching up. On October 30th, 2025, Andrew was officially stripped of all his royal titles. He's no longer Prince Andrew, Duke of York. He's simply Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He's been forced to surrender his lease on Royal Lodge and will be moved to a smaller property on the Sandringham estate. King Charles has also cut off his annual allowance, which was reportedly worth $1.3 million. Staff members are allegedly relishing the opportunity to address him by his new, non-royal name. He's even lost his privileges at Windsor Castle, including the food delivery service he regularly used. Palace sources say he's fought the move every step of the way, arguing that he has a right to remain in Royal Lodge. But King Charles has made it clear that those days are over. But here's the thing that really reveals his character. This pattern didn't start in adulthood. When Andrew was just 5 years old, he would kick guardsmen on duty and taunt the dogs and horses at the royal mews. He thought it was funny to make the animals react and to see if he could get the guards to break their stoic composure. One day, the grooms had enough. They threw him into a dung heap and shoveled manure over him. He ran back to the castle yelling that he would tell his mother. The staff faced no repercussions, and clearly he learned nothing from the experience. If anything, it reinforced his belief that he could behave however he wanted without real consequences. So after decades of entitlement, the question remains, can someone like this actually change? Despite losing his public titles and facing humiliation on a global scale, he continues the same behaviour inside his private residence. The staff at Royal Lodge are still living under his bizarre rulebook. The real test will be what happens when he's forced to move to a smaller property with less staff and fewer resources. Will the private bubble he's created finally burst, or will he find new people to torment? Some royal watchers believe that without the structure and visibility of royal life, his behaviour might actually get worse. Others think that losing everything might finally force him to face reality. If you want to stay updated on what happens next with Andrew and the rest of the royal family, make sure you're subscribed to Royal Family Daily. We'll be following this story closely and bringing you updates as soon as they happen. And check out our next video where we reveal even more shocking details about life inside the royal residences. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.